What's up, Lee?
Oh man, everything's good. I'm doing real good today. It's an opportunity for me to do something different.
For sure.
Yeah. So first of all, let me thank you for having me on.
Hey, I mean, hopefully you'll always be on.
Well, they say first impressions, so we'll find out.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, how was your day?
Um, Pretty chill. I slept a lot. That was definitely the vibe. That was definitely what I was hoping for and looking for.
That second day itis from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, facts. You know what's crazy? Like I low key didn't even realize Thanksgiving was Thanksgiving, cause it's like it's coming up, but I don't know. I don't know what your family is like, but my family, like, there's maybe like 12, 14 of us. And the fact that it's down to like 5 is kind of crazy. So
same. So yeah, the family dynamic is it's kind of crazy. Everybody's dying off. It's just of old age or health or whatever. But it's on my mother's side. Almost everybody's gone. I have one uncle left, and on my father's side, which my grandmother had about, I don't know, 14 kids or so. No exaggeration. She had a lot of kids, but it's down to about 3 now of uncles. All my aunts are gone, so it's very thin. So the family dynamic is not the same. Simply not the same.
Yeah. So it's not death for me. It's distance. You know, people are in different parts of the country. It's a lot of money to travel. It's a lot of money to bring yourself and the wife and the kids.
Sure.
Where is everybody going to sleep?
Right.
Right. You're going to be okay with a futon for 3 days. And then even the kids are, my age and a little bit younger. So got jobs.
Yeah.
So,
Life.
Yeah.
As they say, life be lifing.
Life really do be lifing. So it was weird because it was Thanksgiving, but it felt very just samey. Just another day.
Yeah. I actually ended up sleeping the majority of the day away. I woke up early and I was like, let me get a couple things done before I get going. Next thing I know, around 11 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping till 4.
Ooh.
And when I woke up, I really needed it because I've been burning the candle at both ends lately. So I needed it. I needed the rest. It was good to be off that day and to take a break.
Word. Yeah, again, very similar. I slept most of the day, kind of was out of the way. My mom just cooked, just kind of went in, did everything. In the past years, I've been more in the kitchen. There are a couple dishes that I know how to cook, and I'll just do it. But it's been a long year, man. Wow. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in bed, and she knows, so she let me. It was chill.
Leave him alone.
Yeah. The one thing I did do is she sent me to the nursing home that she works at to drop off some food.
Oh, wow.
For one of the residents there, because this lady was just like, please, anything but whatever they about to serve us.
Yeah, wow, that's good.
So that was cool. That was cool, because it's been a rough year, and then you go to a nursing home and you give some people some food, and you're like,
totally different perspective.
Right.
Yep.
How are y'all?
Listen, right, I understand. It's like, maybe things aren't so bad with me.
Right.
That's it. I don't know, man. I appreciate you having me on. Hit me with one of those hard subjects, one of those topics, one of those what the people came to see type things.
Yeah.
And if I can, I'll answer it. If I can't,
yeah. I mean, the whole thing with me for this podcast is this is my way of being my authentic self.
Good.
Because I think
we need more of that.
Yeah.
Like people, period, need more of that.
Absolutely. And I think kind of across the board, the last couple of years, I've realized that I've been versions of myself for different people in different places. I've been in production forever, entertainment and art forever. And people have a certain understanding of who I am without knowing me. I've been to parties and leaving the party. Like, I'm a guest, right? I'm leaving the party. Somebody will come up to me and be like, yo, you're the DJ, right? You were amazing.
No, but okay.
And I'm just like, wow. Like, there's such a huge degree of separation of, what I'm there for and what people sometimes think about me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I realize a big part of that is that I don't really talk. You know, people know me for my art. Some people know me for the music. I used to do more of that in New York. And then the people who have worked with me in production, they know me behind the scenes.
Right.
So all these different lives that I've lived, I'm just like, well, who's the real me?
Yeah.
When does the real me get to be like?
Yeah. But that is the real you.
Yeah.
You're a combination of
all of those things.
Right. They call it jack of all trades. So that's good.
Yeah. I feel like it kind of got me to the point where I got kind of sad because it was just like, you only see me as this one thing.
Yeah. I heard Bill Russell one time, he said that he was in an airport, I believe, and he said that he was approached by somebody, hey, you're Bill Russell, the basketball player. He was like, that's only one of the things I've done in life. You know, it's like he didn't even want to respond to that because he knew that I'm much more than that.
Right.
You know, so I do understand people know you from one thing, and it's kind of I guess a discredit to what you've already done.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, but sometimes it may be good also. Yeah, I just want you to know this one aspect of me.
Right.
I don't want you to know everything else. Because if you know everything else, you'll have a different opinion. So
yes. I think I'm at that place where it's like, no, I do want you to know those other opinions of me. I do want you to see those other sides. I had this idea in the back of my mind, and it's more towards my art, but I realize I want to bring it into, DASSIT as a whole. There's multiple sides to every story.
Sure.
And I used to say that it's the 7 sides, right? And every side is a different perspective, a different aspect of whatever it is that you're dealing with.
Right.
And by knowing those 7 sides of the subject, you get to delve so much deeper into it in so many other ways. Right. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to show off my 7 sides on this podcast. You know?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's a question, it really is, what are some of the sides that people don't know about you?
Good question. I guess that may be a question for someone who that knows me or getting to know me.
Right,
you know?
literally.
Like, I didn't know this about you. So I'm very spiritual, and a lot of times people don't get to see that because I'll put a humorous side a lot of times in the front or in the forefront,
right? And
they miss the whole. He has a different side to him, a different aspect that I am spiritual. Man, that's when you have to talk about yourself, it's a little tough. You have to think. You have to really think. So, athleticism, because most of the time people don't see me in that light anymore. I used to be very athletic, and now it just feels like I go to work, come back home.
Right.
That's it. So it's not but I continue to do. I continue to work out. I continue to do things to keep me athletic and fit, or as fit as possible. So that's tough. 7 sides.
You don't have to have 7 off the top.
That's
I know I said 7, but so you know what? How about we do this? How about we go back and forth? Okay. So like you just said 1, I'll say 1 and go back.
Yeah.
So the reason that it even was 7 is because I'm a marketer, right? I spend a lot of time, like I said, production, but I spend a lot of time in marketing and advertising. So building brands is kind of just what I do. And so a lot of people know that I do it from a visual aspect. They don't know that, even just the way words sound together is part of marketing. So it's not just like I could just say, everything has many sides. It doesn't sound the same as everything has 7 sides. Right. And then it's like 7 sides. You just saying it, right? Right. So marketing is actually a huge thing that people don't know about me. Okay. I could brand myself out of a paper bag. You know what I mean? Like I could really do it, and
that's good. Yeah.
It's a strange part of my life because I think that's probably where the most struggle came from, because marketing is they call certain people snake oil salesmen, right? Like, oh, you just trying to sell people stuff. It might not work. It might not be as good quality as you say it is. And a lot of American products and services are that.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And you kind of learn that the hard way from the marketing perspective, because I'm not getting paid for the product. I'm getting paid to put it in front of people. So the quality of the product, that's not my business.
Right.
And mid-project, sometimes you find out the product is not that great. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Yeah. How do I tell this person to buy this now?
So that's where people like me come in, the salesman. The salesman has a role in that, where it's different techniques to selling. So you could use a technique like the bandwagon technique, where like everybody's doing it. Hey, jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
You got to do this. Everybody's doing it. You could use a technique like the celebrity technique. Shaquille O'Neal, he's doing it. Hey, you got to get it if he's supporting it. So it's
I'm Shaq. I'm Shaq, and I support this because every time I use it, it's the greatest thing that I've ever done. Was it the big patch?
Right.
Man, this is a big pain, so I need a big patch.
But so it's different techniques, and when you really dive into how to sell a product, the quality of the product means a lot. But if the quality isn't good, it's still a way to advertise it and to sell it.
Right.
It is. People do it all the time. Let's look at McDonald's. The food is garbage. It is no good for you.
Literally, it does not.
No bash on McDonald's because I don't know, but really, it's no good for you. But the way they advertise it, the way they market it, the way they put it out to the customer, I'll drive by there right now and get a fish fillet, Filet-O-Fish. But then I know it's no good for me. But it's all about absolutely marketing and sales.
Yeah. That's it.
I find that I'm a overthinker.
Okay.
Like something will happen and I'll play out 2 or 3 scenarios in my mind before it's even complete. Before even I see it in the beginning, I'm like, ooh, that's going this way, that way, this way. And one of those 3 is going to happen. I guarantee you.
Right.
I guarantee you. Yep. I'm an overthinker. I think about things. I could be sitting on the toilet. But my mind is racing, cutting the grass. I'm just constantly thinking. So I find that by being an overthinker, sometimes you can think yourself out of something, or you can think yourself into something. And on both ends, it can be big.
Right.
You can miss the boat because I just took myself completely out of it.
Right.
Or I'm overthinking it to the point that I've thought it all the way through, and I'm going to accomplish this goal, whatever it is, because I've thought every detail through.
Right.
So I'm overthinking.
No, I feel that. I'm very similar, especially with the multiple scenarios. I guess that's why this year has been, difficult for me. So I guess if there's another side to present, I'm very emotional. More emotional than I guess I realized that I was, because for most of my life, it's been put the emotions to the side. You have to deal with one of these scenarios.
Understood.
So in this past year, I've had to face that fact, face a lot of the emotions, new emotions that I'm dealing with now, and old emotions that I didn't deal with then.
Wow.
So now it's like, oh, everything is heavier. Because it's not just the thing in front of me, it's the 3 times that it happened before.
Gotcha.
It's not what this person is saying, it's the fact that this person, that person said it to me in different scenarios and situations, and kind of dealing with all of that and processing all of that for the first time. And yeah, I've just been tired.
Yeah. Well, emotions can wear you out. Period. It can wear you out. Yeah.
It's crazy. I've had the parts of my life where I was depressed. I didn't want to get out of bed. But now it's like I don't want to get out of bed for different reasons. Like I think back then it was like, oh, what am I even getting out of bed for? Like it's kind of like this like, well, what am I doing? Now it's like, no, I know exactly what I have to do. It just sucks.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do it?
Yeah. Why do I have to be an adult? That's the
worst.
Right.
Nobody told me. Nobody told me.
And even if they would have, you wouldn't have listened.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm living my life. And now here we are. Yeah.
I think if they would have told me that it sucked, I would have listened. Because I think what a lot of like humans just in general do is if you give us a warning from a place of self, where if I say, oh, don't do something, it's going to hurt you, you might not listen. But if I say, don't do something, it hurt me, now you might be a little bit more receptive to what I'm saying. So I think in that sense, whenever I have children, I might have that moment of, hey, I'm going to sit you down. Let me tell you what the world did to me. So.
But I'm just the opposite. I kind of disagree with that because once you believe or feel that it's going to happen to you, you have a more sense of, ooh, let me pay attention. Yeah. It happened to you. That'll never happen to me.
It might not.
And that's the way people think. They're like,
true.
That happened to you. You wasn't looking, or whatever the case may be. You weren't listening. You weren't paying attention.
Hey.
Man, I look out for that all the time.
And if it does, maybe you'll go, you know what?
I should have listened.
At least you tried to tell me.
Right.
At least you tried.
So now I'm knocking on your door. Hey, what did you do in that situation?
Exactly. And now it's a different conversation. I'm like, cool, come in.
Right.
Have some coffee.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, because I'm running across a little something. I know you told me back in the day, but I had to figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's life. That's what it is.
It is.
And I always say, I never give people advice. The best advice I can give them is don't take other people's advice. But I'll just make suggestions, or I'll tell them what happened to me. Yeah, and that's the best thing that I can do for an individual. But don't advise a person, because in your mind, subconsciously, you're thinking, I'm giving this person advice, and if they don't take your advice, you feel a certain kind of way. You're like, why didn't he take my advice? I told him. Well, he didn't want advice. Sometimes a person just wants a sounding board.
Right.
They want to just be able to spit. This is what it is. I just need you to listen. Don't give me that dad stuff. Don't want to hear it. Just listen to me, because if I hear myself say it, then maybe I can work through it. So a lot of times I'm a sounding board for people, and if they want to hear what happened to me, then I'll give them my version of me, and or even if I know somebody who's gone through something, I'll say, hey, this is what happened to my friend, and if you don't want to hear it, I'm fine with that.
Right.
But the door is open for you to have that option, not for me to push it on a person.
I feel that. That's something I'm working on, because I guess I've given people advice forever, because I genuinely sometimes, yes, there's like life stuff where I'm not going to give you advice. Oh yeah, you should definitely be in the Navy because you're this. Like, I'm not going to do that. But if you are like, man, I just love being on boats, man. There's something about boats. I'll be like, have you considered the Navy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a completely, like, I'm listening to what you're saying and then maybe presenting you with options based on what you're saying.
Right.
So, but what it comes off as sometimes is, oh, you think you know everything. And I'm just like, well, based on what you told me. Like, it's
listen to yourself?
Like, I'm just giving you back what you gave me, but it doesn't always come out that way, I guess. And sometimes, depending on how much I care about the person, it can, be a little bit more passionate, a little bit more forceful, and then now they're like, whoa, and so I'm very.
It's because you care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't give them anything.
So that's what I was going to say. I'm very caring.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just care about people. I see their pain. I see what they go through, and it bothers me. And I've had the friends who are like, well, why do you let it bother you? And I'm like, my nigga, how do you not let it bother you? Like, I'm sorry. Like, if my boy is hungry, then we got to go get some food. Like, that's just how it's going to be. Like, why aren't we doing that every day?
I don't know. That's a tough one, because everybody's level of care is different.
Right.
In different situations, they're feeling. First of all, a person has to love themselves.
Yeah.
And if you love yourself, you find yourself loving others. If you don't, it's tough.
Yeah.
it's tough. It starts at home. It starts within. It starts with yourself. So, it's tough for you to extend your hand to someone else when you really don't care what happens to you. So I think that everybody needs a degree of psychological help.
For sure. For sure.
Everyone.
Or sometimes just a clean smack, physical help. Just stop doing that.
Right.
Like, can we cut it?
Oh,
like,
man, I'm glad you said it. I needed that.
It blows mine sometimes. That's probably another side. I'm a jester. Now, it really depends on who you are in my life to kind of like whether or not you see that part. And now I'm just like, fuck it. If you laugh, you laugh.
Right.
I'm just going to do this because it's just in me to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to say something funny. The most tragic situation, I think of 3 jokes.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. That's how my brain works. And I know not everybody's going to get it, but that's how I'm going to move.
Listen, you got to enjoy life. You're only going to be here a short period of time, and we don't know when it's going to end. So you have to enjoy every moment. And people have to see you enjoy those moments because you don't know what kind of inspiration they get off of you.
Right. So I'm trying to find the line of stuff that's funny to me and stuff that's funny to everybody else.
Because you may have like a thought process, and they're like, that wasn't very funny.
And I'm like, yes, it was.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Right.
You missed it. You missed it. I get it. You all in your feelings over your family member and stuff. But let me tell you why this is funny.
It's like, listen, that's not funny.
It's like, yeah, I get it. Your cultural appropriation. But let me tell you why this is funny.
It's not funny. If it was to happen to you, it wouldn't be funny, would it?
And half the time I'm like, it has. And I laughed, bro. Like, I don't really know what to tell you.
You got to understand that if you take it too serious, you'll stress out. And as a friend of mine says, you'll implode.
Yeah.
Everybody else around you will still be living.
Right.
And they'll still be enjoying life.
Yep.
And you'll just exploding from the inside out.
Yeah.
So because you're keeping it in, you're stressing. No, laugh through it, enjoy that moment, and move on.
Right.
What do you do for commercial breaks? Do you have?
This is where you look directly at the camera and you say, "Today's episode is brought to you by your mom's mistakes." Your mom's mistakes, bringing you all kinds of trauma and strangely sometimes gifts.
Hopefully, you weren't one of them.
Hey,
mom's mistakes.
And hey, some of us were. Some of us were, and yet. Those mistakes have been, putting people in the world and taking people through the world since Adam and Eve. So, you know what?
Live on.
Your mom's mistakes. That's really what I want to do.
Stupid, man. Come on.
I feel like anybody who wants to really come on and say, "Hey, I have a product and I want you guys to talk about it."
Okay, cool.
That last point I made about me being a jester, you really gonna have to consider that.
Okay.
You're really gonna have to consider that. I'm in marketing and advertising. I hate commercials with a passion because of how just kind of inept and ridiculous they are nowadays.
That's how you get paid.
But that's what I'm saying. It's how you get paid. It's not how you reach the customer. And that's where
That's important.
I'm like,
you gotta reach the customer.
This bothers me so much. Wasn't it you that we were talking and we were like, I will never get insurance from Liberty? Was it not you? No, it was. I was having a conversation with someone and we literally said I will never get Liberty insurance because of these stupid commercials with this ostrich.
Commercials are gimmicks.
Yeah.
It's just
It's like, what are we doing? What is this? This yellow and blue. I'm like, shut up. This is dumb.
ostrich and fake detective.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want it. Right. How many of my shows have you interrupted? Never again.
Yeah.
You'll never get my money. Yeah. And anyone who works at Liberty Insurance, I mean that. Never in my life. That's it. So I used to say this thing where it's an analogy that I use, where when people are afraid to make a decision or people are afraid to like kind of take a step, I say, listen, you could go outside and you could slap an old lady in the face right now. And people always look at me crazy when I say that because they're like, I'm sorry, what? And it's like, you could go outside and you could slap an old lady in the face right now. And everyone's like, no, you can't. And I'm like, yes, you can. You won't.
But you can.
But you can.
Right.
You might feel like you shouldn't, but you can. You can.
Yeah.
And in some circumstances, not only can you, you will. Depending on what this little lady,
you say, lady?
What this lady said to you, did to you, is doing to somebody else.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
So, don't be afraid to slap the old lady.
And I guess when people really think about that and they come to terms with, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Then it changes your perspective of what you think about other scenarios, other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you ever see me slap an old lady, she deserved it.
Or you snapped, one or the other.
If I snapped, it wouldn't be a slap.
Oh, it would be a mauling or something? You just went over there and mauled the old lady?
It'd be ridiculous. It wouldn't be on the podcast. It'd be on the news.
And this just in.
Let me tell you, if I snap, it's over. All right? Like, it's done. I'm not coming back. And that's why I pray to Jesus, and keep him close, because I know if it was just me in these streets,
it would be bad for somebody.
Every day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Every day of the week.
Well, you may not be out there, but it's some people out there like that.
Oh, for sure.
They're out there, and that's crazy. That's another thing. Is just the streets in general is. It's challenging. You have to really keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because we're in a state where we really need to join together and be a unit or have some unity.
Yeah.
And we're going like crabs in a barrel. We're going down the wrong path. It's tough. And it's happening all over. It's not just here in Baltimore. It's happening all over.
Yeah. I never really know how to feel about it because I'm not a crab in a barrel, but I see them, and I kind of just be like, "What are we doing?" Every once in a while, I have a chat with a thug, just because he's sitting next to me, and I sat next to him, and I was not afraid to sit next to him, because another side. I used to be a criminal. Yeah. We won't talk about how and why yet, I guess.
Day one.
Yeah. Hey.
It's day one.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Right.
But in that sense, it's like, I've been in certain places, I've done certain things, and I just understand, okay, this is the way that some people live, and this is what they deal with, and there's a lot of trauma attached to it. So when I sit next to some dude and he's like extra tough, I was like, like this is normal.
Dude, the only person that you're fearing is yourself.
Right, but
that's it.
When we talk, he's more like, and then she was like this, and I just shut up, bro. I just shut up because I knew if I said something, it was gonna be something else, and then I was gonna get tight. And so in me, I'm just like, word, get it out, bro. Say what you really felt.
Right.
Because you can't say it to her.
Yeah.
So say it to me.
Yeah. Help yourself.
Yeah. Say it to me so you can get it out. And maybe at the end of that conversation, you either realize that you were angry because you don't love her, or you were angry because you do. And now maybe you can have a better situation next week than this week. I feel like a lot of people who are on that side, that's all they really need. They don't want to be crabs in a barrel. They just don't think there's any way out of the barrel. And as not being in the barrel, I'm like, hey.
So, as a therapist, that seems like to be another one of your attributes there.
Not certified.
Not certified. As a non-certified therapist,
many of my exes would say, "No, he isn't."
Of course they would.
Of course they would. They mad I told them what they were feeling.
And it has come to fruition.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
For sure. Sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right all the time because I'm not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my shot percentage is on the rise. If I'm not on the bench. You know,
right.
they play me in the game.
Right.
Because they can
You're
rely.
getting some time out there.
Yeah, they can rely on me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's weird. I don't necessarily like being any sort of therapist to people because, again, I'm not trained.
Yeah.
So when it gets to a certain point, I'm just looking at them like, is this the point where I slap you? Or,
yeah. But if you have something to offer, like, again, whether it's listening, whether it's offering advice, like I said, I don't really care for it, but even offering suggestions, do it, because when you have an opportunity, when you need it, you need it.
For sure.
And it may not be the same person that you extended your hand to. It may be somebody else, but you got to be open for it.
Yeah. Definitely another lesson that I've been learning. Just like, the people who show up aren't always the people you expect.
Exactly.
And then even in that sense, it's like, who y'all? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now, I have to be comfortable with you as well. Like,
right.
Hey, hold on.
Is this real?
You want to talk?
Yeah. Is it? I don't know if I should reveal this to you.
Some of the people who show up aren't qualified. It's like, I'm sorry.
What's your qualifications again?
Who
are you?
You come with recommendations. You come with.
Can I see your resume just quickly?
Please, just something.
Portfolio, something. I need something.
Within 5 minutes, some people will show you they're not the person you should be talking to about this.
And that's where understanding, discernment, those things come right into play.
Yeah.
You have to. I feel that you've been equipped enough to handle the first 3 rounds of anything, just off of life's experiences.
Yeah.
You should be able to handle the first 3 rounds.
Boom. It's boxing terminology.
Yeah, and a lot of knockouts happen within the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
A lot of them
got caught. I seen the weakness. I took advantage.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yep.
That's what people be scared of. But my jaw is glass.
Yep, we had to toughen up.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or somebody really gonna knock you out.
Right.
It won't be me.
No, I'm here to help you, but you're gonna have to toughen up.
You think this is bad? That's crazy.
Yeah.
We still in the gym.
Right. Let me call in the stunt double. Come on in here.
That's it. Can you talk a little bit about being a basketball coach? Like how long you've been doing it, and what that is for you?
Wow. So yes, I've been coaching over 20 years. What I've done is I coached at the elementary, the middle school, and at the high school level. And all of them are different. I coached girls, I've coached boys. I currently coach high school girls, and it's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure to see the development of kids go from zero to hero, to go from not being able to dribble a ball to being able to act like chess. Instead of playing checkers, they're playing chess. They're strategizing. They're, hey, coach, we should try this. And you didn't even know how to dribble a basketball, but now you understand the game and you're able to maneuver on the court, and you're able to take the game from fun to now, hey, maybe one day I might want to be a coach.
Right.
So coaching is, it can be stressful at times, but it's so gratifying.
Right.
To be able to see, you're able to control a kid's future, and just the education of this game is like life. You move this way, it can take you down this avenue. You move that way, it can take you down that avenue. It's so many life lessons in the game that I love it. I love coaching. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what you want to know. You want to know X's and O's? You want to know
how do I make it to the NBA right now? I'm 33.
So they have this thing. It's called ball boys, and you can't. Well, I don't know. It's a program that you may be interested in doing. At 33, you may be one of the mature ball boys, but
I'm a ball man.
Okay. Hey, what?
I'm a ball bro. A ball unk, if you would.
But at 33, as a player or a coach,
I
let me go ahead and break it to you. It's not happening, bro.
I wanted to be in the NBA for like a summer. Like that's about it. Like it was never really a dream. Wow. When I first went to try out freshman year of high school for the basketball team, I couldn't shoot. Mm-hmm. We never had a hoop in my. So I'm born and raised in New York City. Grew up in Queens. Mm-hmm. So we have a backyard, front yard, and a driveway. Okay. Not everybody in New York has that. Right. But what I didn't have was a hoop. Mm. So I'm just in the driveway dribbling. Yeah. Day in and day out. Yeah. Day in and day out. I'm playing NBA Street. Wow. Volume 1 and 2. Wow. Watching and 1 mixtape. Literally like watching it on the TV, seeing what they do, going outside trying to do it. Of course. Going back inside, watching it, coming back outside trying to do it. Wow. And I got to the point where my handles were kind of crazy. Like and I'm, of most of the dudes who were like trying out, I was one of the shorter guys, but I was already ready to play point guard because I was like, I'm faster than y'all. Right. My handles are better than y'all. And that's what Allen Iverson plays. So we out. So I pull up to tryouts and like I'm spinning around dudes. Like I'm
you're giving them the best
moving. And coach is like, oh, this is going to be great. It's like an older Italian dude. He's just like, oh, this is amazing. I'm so happy. Like, wow, I love this kid. This is like just he's ready. He's gonna go far. And I think I got cut in the last round because I have to imagine that he realized that I hadn't scored a single point in any of the drills, in any of the games. Just right. Nothing. Like we do a scrimmage. I'm passing it. Even some of my layups. Just not backboard and then nothing.
Yeah, that's tough.
But
shooting, that's something that can be taught.
Yeah.
It's something that can be taught.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't invest in that because if you can dribble, if you can maneuver that court, shooting, I can teach that.
Listen, I don't remember his name, but he didn't seem like the smartest dude in the world. If we just gonna throw it out there. Yeah. He picked the tall kids. That's what he did. That's what he did.
Yeah, because he wanted to be a winner without working.
Yeah. The height advantage, that's what he was going for, and that's what he got. And I'm pretty sure we didn't win that year, so it is what it is. But then fast forward senior year. So senior year was the only year I didn't try out. Oh, wow. And junior year when I tried out, I was like, no, I'm definitely making it, because basically after I didn't make it, I knew why I didn't make it, and I was like, okay, I have to get good at shooting.
You gotta shoot.
And so, we played basketball every day back then. Just going to the park, whether I'm in Queens, whether I'm at school, whether I'm like, we played at Rucker, we played at West 4, like all the amazing places to play, and then just random spots in the city, like, Brooklyn, like don't matter. Like we're just, there's a court, we're just going to play. Yeah. Like even when we went to Rucker, we went because we wanted to see how good we were. Uh-huh. We were like, okay, we feel like we good. Yeah. So let's go see how good we are. Right. And I guess like in a weird way, like I was like, okay, I got a B+ because we scored. Like we didn't win the game, but I didn't lose. Right. I didn't.
You didn't get beat.
Exactly. I felt like no. We played a game and we got a loss, but y'all didn't stomp me. Right. But I will say that 2 of the guys who were there, I was like, yeah, I'm never getting into the NBA. If I gotta get past y'all, it's not that. I tell you about this one kid. He big dark-skinned dude, and he one of them kids who got his fro out and he don't talk.
So you don't know what his emotion is.
He just standing there like a wall. Yeah. And he's playing center. And I'm not really afraid of centers because most of my friends are 6 foot and up. Mm-hmm. So when I'm playing ball, like we play 1-on-1 against each other, I'm the shortest dude on the court. Right. So it don't matter. I just got to get around you some way, somehow. Yeah. I actually, as a point guard, would go in the post because it's like this might be the only way I'm going to get around you. Mm-hmm. But this dude, I posted up on a different defender because he was faster, and so they told him to get on me, and I'm just going back and forth, and I was doing all right. And the guys I was rolling with, they're shooters, so it was kind of, I didn't have to keep running in to face this dude.
Right.
But they locked my guys up towards the end of the game, and I'm like, all right, I need to start running in because I'm faster. I'm just going, I can get around this guy. I think I'm gonna be all right. This guy has me on the left. I'm at the 3, and I pump to do the 3. He kind of picks up. I go around him, and I'm like, okay, I'll just do the short jumper. I'm not going to challenge the center.
Right.
I jump, and I shoot, and this man jumps and catches my shot. He didn't block my shot. He caught my shot, and then fell down towards me, so knocks me back on the floor. And I'm just lying on the floor looking up at this man as he holds the ball that I just shot. And he just looks down at me. And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's my time. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. That's my time. I just appreciate y'all, playing with
Rocket Park, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just playing with a little invalid like me,
Yeah. So, I don't know. I played basketball for many years. Like I said, I started off coaching elementary. Then I moved to middle school and moved to high school. I refereed for 3 years in high school ball. And just been enjoying the ride. It started off as just a volunteer thing to do. And one day a guy with a nonprofit organization offered me the opportunity to get paid and coach getting paid, and I never looked back.
Boom.
It's been fun.
Hey.
So I don't know where this journey is going to end, but I'll probably always in some kind of way help kids with their dreams, some kind of way, because somebody gave me an opportunity. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it's a noble goal, man.
Yeah.
Gotta help the kids.
You gotta reach back.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that with art a bit. I want to start doing, videos kind of talking about the art that I do, why I do it, and, trying to be, a bit more inspirational in front of the camera. Because not everybody gets a chance to see the art, and I feel like sometimes you got to know the person.
Right.
Before that really, takes off in any way. So trying to just, again, this is part of it, but also just making separate videos where I'm like, hey, this is this character and this is what they represent. This is how I make them. This is, if you want to draw them, this is how you draw them. And then I start, doing it. Yeah.
Just a little sidebar. Some people may have never seen Logic's art, but it's amazing. It's amazing. The very first time I saw it, and I'm not an art guy. I'm not super into art, but when I saw it, I was just like, what? It's the detail. It's amazing. It's amazing. His mind will take your mind somewhere else. If you ever get an opportunity to go to one of his shows or just go online, he has things online. Take a look and really broaden your mind and just absorb it. Take it in, because it may be a piece or two that you may want to purchase. But really, really, really nice stuff.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the plug. For sure.
Unsolicited.
Unsolicited, for sure. Yeah, here's your 50. Here's your 50 on the table.
That's crazy.
I legitimately have been doing this since I was 6 years old.
Wow.
And I'm 33 now, so that's 25 years.
Yeah.
I literally have never not done this. Did I do the math on that right?
No, but it doesn't.
Not
matter.
even close.
Right.
Actually.
We got it. We get the gist.
Yeah.
You've been doing it a long time, old man.
Math. I said art. That's what I said.
Right. School of the arts.
We got accountants for that. I just, it was my way of expressing myself for a really long time.
Good.
It was my only way of expressing myself for a really long time. And even the detail of going into certain things, I think, I was creating characters and stories and saying, okay, well, this is what this person would be, and this is what they would stand for, and this is who would stand in their way, and these are the friends who would help them, and these are the different situations that they would be in, and then I would try to just draw that. So I think what has happened is I've taken like those elements of storytelling and really just put them in the pen strokes of single characters now. So instead of me having to draw 5 characters to tell a story, I'm trying to tell a story in just 1 or 2, or more like small vignettes instead of like this big epic thing all the time.
So have you ever tried to do screenplay?
So yes. So I've participated in a lot of different kinds of like theater, from like different sides of production. Okay. The only like acting I've ever done has been like in high school. Like I was in a couple school plays and stuff like that. Sure. In college, I think the most I did was like, the dance team needed boys, and I like was dating somebody on the team and was like, yeah, sure, I'm there.
Right. She's like, if you don't come,
it wasn't even like that. Like I was like, nah, I'll pull up. What's up? Like I like dancing. But now that I'm writing more, and now that I'm like, really putting those stories together, now I'm writing out the scripts and, saying, well, what does this voice sound like, and kind of like playing around with the different ones. Cool. One of the ones that I will do, and I will commit to doing on a fairly regular basis is a character called DASSIT.
Oh, I'd love to hear this.
I feel like I've done this for you, which is my crackhead character.
Oh, yes.
Hey, man, what's up? Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Glad to be here. Yeah, man, heard they was doing the podcast, so I had to come back off the street and just, make sure I put in my 2 cents, and if you got 5 cents, let me get that. But all I'm saying is, these guys out here, man, they got something going on, man. They trying to be inspiring. They trying to, really get to people's hearts, because people's hearts be cold out here. These people's hearts be cold as ice. You know that song? It's cold as ice.
Long ago.
Don't mean to sacrifice my... You know the song, though. What's what I'm saying?
That character is very close to my heart.
Sounds like it.
It's actually a mishmash of 2 different feelings. One is, it's literally like, this is random and weird, but I had a girlfriend at the time, and we used to baby talk to each other. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why. It just
one of those.
One day we just started doing it, and we just would talk to each other like that. And so like it was cute, and it'd be like when we're more like intimate, like kind of like having fun in the house type stuff. Right. But yeah, we'd be like, she'd say something to me, and I'd be like, oh, that's how you really feel? And she'd be like, yeah, that's how I really feel. Like, you sure that's how you really feel?
Man. So, way too mushy.
Just like, just kind of ridiculous. I remember when I was done with the relationship, I was still talking like that. And
that's a problem.
And one day I was just like, what am I doing?
Right, that's a problem.
But it's that, and then the reality of all of the crackheads that I've known in my life. From the time that I was taking the bus alone to go to school, just these guys just on the street all day. Yeah. I'm waking up in the morning, they're there. I'm coming back from school in the afternoon, they're there. If it's late at night, I'm coming home from a party, they're there.
Understand, that's their job.
And literally the different like moments, like, they sitting on a milk crate, at 7 in the morning.
That's their job.
With half a coffee. Hey man, how you doing, man? Right. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, man. You all right? You good?
That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do.
That's where they at.
Mm-hmm. But when I say that's their job, it was to teach you something. Look, either you want to be this way or you don't want to be. Make the decision.
But you know what's crazy? Like, as a kid, I had no judgment. Like, I had no idea like what they were actually going through, or like what caused them to be like that.
Right.
And then even like I never really experienced them with an adult. It was never like, oh, I'm
so they could tell you, hey, this is this, this is right.
I'm holding my mom's hand, and I see some dude being weird, and I'm like, mommy, what's that? Never had that moment. It was always me by myself, and there's just a weird adult over there. like leaning up on a wall, you know, because he's done. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Yeah. What's
Like,
wrong with him?
yeah, but exactly. Like, is he okay? I don't know if he's okay.
He's out there every day. I guess he is.
And then every once in a while, like, if you are like, hey, man, are you all right?
Yeah, man, I'm fine, man. Don't worry about me, man. I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Man, thanks for checking on me, man. Man, people don't do that, man. You a good kid, man. You got a good heart, man.
Like, okay, all right, thanks.
Right. Mommy, I talked to the guy over there. Don't talk to them.
and that wasn't how my house was. Like, I wasn't gonna come back and tell you I talked to the man down the street. Like, that's just not how we were.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a kind of an homage to the crackheads that I've known, and an homage to the crackhead that I was in that relationship, and kind of just putting those two things together.
Yeah, and that's crack, man. I be out here, man, doing my thing, you know, letting them know, man. If you like what I say, you pass me $1, man. You know, this times it's hard trying to get to Arizona from the corner store, man.
Good gracious. Yes. That's a journey. That's going to be a journey for you.
It's gonna be so much fun. There's a couple different characters, and I'm just playing around with all of them. You know, and what I hope to do eventually is I'm gonna actually start telling those stories more often and having those like recorded.
Good.
So, you know, have some sort of visual aspect, you know, where maybe you just like see the image of the person, or you see, and then you hear the voice and the story is told.
Good.
You know.
Well, we're looking at short stories first.
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Little
I'm
short
not.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, I will lose my mind trying to do this long form content.
Right. It's not going to work.
It's really
It's not going to work. Yeah.
I need like 7 people to like really get that going.
Mhm.
You know, like if we had 2 people in here, like doing the editing and you know setup and breakdown. Oh wow,
Cool.
you know,
Easy.
I can start focusing on immediately writing
Right.
more, you know, doing more
Right.
script stuff. But no,
Nice.
I'm packing all this up myself.
Yeah. I seen how you came in, set up, and it was just like, sit down, talk.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What do I say? Don't worry about that. It'll come.
It will.
And listen, he set up so fast and did a great job with it. Was able to get us underway. Couple little test runs to make sure things were right. And he knows what he's doing. So
I appreciate it.
So if it gives you an opportunity, if it's something that you've been looking at doing, this may be an avenue for you as well.
Sure, you got to pay me for it, but yeah.
Nothing in life is free.
Yo, it's weird because it's like I've been like more drawn to do volunteer work, but I realize that this is not necessarily one of those things.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the amount of equipment, you know, the time spent, the ins and outs of it. I'll tell you how to do it. Mm-hmm. I'll sit with you and be like, hey, this is what you need. You have a problem with audio. Okay, these are the things you could try. Mm-hmm. You know, I got people you could call and talk to them. They're better at it than I am, and that kind of stuff. I'll help you set it up. But man, if you want me to do it,
it's going to cost you.
It's going to be a check. Cause,
yeah. And I think that everybody should be paid for their skill, for their professionalism. You did all the hard work. You learned the craft. You've honed in on it. You've made it your own, and you need to be compensated for it.
Yeah. Also, don't like people that much. So it's like, hey, you got to pay me to be here. Like, I like you. So I say, hey,
I appreciate
we should do this.
Wow.
This is cool. This will be fun.
Yeah, you did choose me because I'll be honest with you. I wasn't even thinking on this level. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a group of guys that we've talked about doing something like this, but first of all, we don't have the equipment. We don't have the intellect to even know how to set this up. But
it's not.
But we talk.
I wanna come in here right at this point, because sometimes you say things about your intellect, and believe me, I love the humility, right? I love that part of you that goes, hey man, I don't know everything.
I don't. Yeah.
You are not dumb by any by any stretch of the imagination. If you were, I would not. I would not be having.
I appreciate that.
Me and this guy, man, he don't know nothing, and I'm gonna bring him and show him to everybody. Like, hey everybody, check him out.
I do appreciate that, but I don't claim to be, and I don't ever want to be the smartest guy in the room, because if there's no room to learn, if you're not a student of the game, why are you playing the game?
Yeah.
You know. So I do. Sometimes I'll lead with, maybe I don't know the most about things, but I do know a little something about some things. So, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. So, next broadcast.
Yeah.
What are we doing next broadcast? Are we? How are we going to turn this up a notch? When is our next broadcast? So that the viewers and listeners will know.
So, what usually happens, at least in my head, when we do something like this being the first one, is I'm unsure of when this is actually coming out, like when this is actually going to hit airwaves. So if I say it's going to be this day, and then it's not that day, I already did it. Right?
That's why you're in. That's why you're in management and I'm not. You go, boy.
That's it. Hey everybody, this is Logic Thompson. This is DASSIT Podcast. I'm here with
LWE,
hey,
known as Lee.
And we doing a damn thing. We here in Baltimore, talking the talk, trying to walk the walk, being cool and minding our business, aren't we?
Yeah. You just want to stay above water but below the radar. You can use that, by the way.
No, that works. Above water but below the radar.
Yeah.
Might put that on a shirt.
Again,
we gotta look for ways to make some money, man.
Yeah, that's true, and hopefully that's why we're here.
Hopefully
that's why we're here.
I'm gonna add the applause in, all that good stuff, and even like parts like this, like it's recording, and I'm just like, yeah, I might leave it in. I might let y'all know who I am when I show up.
Sometimes it's authentic when you're raw.
Right.
So that's what people are looking for. Hopefully that's what they're looking for.
I mean, if you hear, that's what you gonna get. So,
so
I'm not giving you nothing
like
else.
it or not,
this is it. If I'm pissed one day, you're gonna get pissed me. Like that's just how it's gonna go.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
There's millions of people in the world. You could have chose anyone.
I could have. And yet God said, this is Lee. Of who I'm well pleased.
Hey, it's good. It's
Word.
good. It's good.
And that's it.